right, so today we're going to tackle something I think a lot of people struggle with, the resume summary. It's like you want to make yours just jump off the page. We found a great article, tons of tips and examples. So yeah, let's unpack this.
It's interesting how the resume summary has become so crucial. It's really your first impression, that quick pitch before they even get to your experience.
It's like a movie trailer, right? You got to hook them right away. So what makes this little section at the top of the resume so powerful?
Well, think about it. Recruiters, they're drowning in applications. Your summary needs to cut through the noise, grab their attention. It's also your chance to showcase those key skills and experiences, the ones that really align with the job.
Right, and of course we can't forget about the robots in the room, the applicant tracking systems. The article mentions them. But honestly, I think a lot of people are still kind of mystified by how they work.
Absolutely. ATS are essentially software that scan Rezooms for keywords. They're looking for keywords related to the job description. If your resume doesn't have those keywords, it might never even reach a human.
Wow, so it's not just about impressing humans, it's about speaking robot too.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Just, sprinkling keywords randomly. That won't do the trick. You have to be strategic.
Okay, so how do we crack the code? Make sure our resume makes it past these digital gatekeepers.
Research is key. Before you even start writing your summary, take some time to understand what ATS the company might be using. There are websites that track this kind of information. Then, you look for ways to incorporate those keywords naturally into your summary. Use different forms of the word, phrases that demonstrate your understanding of the skill.
Okay, so no more keyword stuffing. Got it. But how do we balance that with, writing something that actually sounds good to a human?
That's where the art of storytelling comes in. Think of your summary as a mini narrative that highlights your most relevant skills and achievements.
Our article outlines a 3-step process for crafting this narrative. First, identify your key skills and achievements. Think shining moments, quantifiable results, any certifications or awards that make you stand out.
Yeah, I think step one is where people get tripped up. They
Mhm.
focus on listing tasks instead of achievements. It's the difference between saying, manage a team of 5 and saying, led a team of 5 to exceed sales targets by 15%.
Yeah, see the difference in impact. Okay, step 1, identify those power moves. What's next?
Step 2 is all about playing detective. You need to scrutinize that job description like it's a treasure map. You're looking for the golden nuggets, the specific skills and qualifications they're seeking.
So it's not just about what you're good at, it's about what they need.
Right. It's about finding that sweet spot where your skills and their needs intersect. And then for step 3, you weave those skills and achievements into a concise, impactful statement.
Okay, and our article really stresses the importance of strong action verbs and avoiding jargon. Any tips on how to make those sentences top?
One trick is to start your sentences with those action verbs. Instead of saying responsible for managing social media, you would say, developed and implemented social media strategies that increased engagement by 20%.
Ooh, okay, much stronger. It's like turning a boring statement into a powerful punchline.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to use numbers to quantify your achievements. Numbers add credibility, and they make your accomplishments more tangible.
All right, so we've got the steps down. But now I'm curious about those real-world examples. The article provides a few different resume summaries, right?
Yes, we have summaries for a communications manager, an experienced nurse, and a creative graphic designer. These examples are great for demonstrating how to tailor your summary to different industries.
So what stands out to you with those examples?
Notice how they all use keywords specific to their fields. The communications manager mentions community outreach initiatives, while the nurse highlights their experience with neonatal resuscitation. It's about speaking their language from the get-go.
And they're all super concise. It's like they managed to cram all that amazing experience into just a few sentences.
Exactly. That's the magic of a well-crafted resume summary. It's about distilling your value proposition down to its essence, making every word count.
Speaking of different approaches, the article also touches on the difference between a resume summary and an objective statement. Is there ever a time when an objective statement is better?
That's a great question. Most career experts would say the objective statement is outdated. But I think there's still situations where it can be effective, especially for those who are early in their careers or making a career transition.
So a summary is all about showcasing your skills and experience, while an objective statement is more about your career goals.
Precisely. An objective statement can be useful for highlighting your ambition, demonstrating your commitment to a particular field, especially if you lack direct experience in that area. It's like saying, here's where I'm headed, and I'm eager to learn and contribute.
So it's like choosing the right tool for the job, right? Sometimes you need a hammer, sometimes you need a screwdriver. It all depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of the resume summary. It's a versatile tool that can be adapted to different situations and career goals.
Okay, this is all super helpful. I'm already feeling more confident about tackling my own resume summary. But before we move on, I want to make sure we cover those pro tips and pitfalls to avoid. Our article has some great advice on that, right?
Absolutely. And one of the biggest pitfalls I see is people trying to cram everything into their summary. It ends up sounding like a laundry list of duties instead of a compelling narrative.
Yeah, like reading an instruction manual instead of good story. So how do we avoid that trap? Our article says keep it short and sweet, but how short is short?
Ideally, your summary should be no more than 2 or 3 sentences. Think of it like an elevator pitch. You need to grab their attention quickly and leave them wanting to learn more.
So it's like a Twitter bio.
Yeah,
For your career, you've got limited characters to make a big impact.
exactly. And remember, the rest of your resume is there to provide more details. The summary is just a snapshot of your most relevant qualifications.
Okay, so brevity is key. What else should we avoid?
Generic cliches. Ditch phrases like hard worker or team player. Instead, show those qualities. Through concrete examples, use the STAR method. Situation, task, action, result. To describe a specific situation where you demonstrated those skills.
I've heard of the STAR method, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how to use it effectively. Can you give us a quick rundown?
Sure. Let's say you want to highlight your problem-solving skills. Instead of just saying, like, excellent problem solver, you could describe a situation where you faced a challenge, the task you were assigned, the action you took to solve the problem, and the positive result you achieved.
Oh, I get it. So it's like turning a vague statement into a mini case study.
Exactly. It gives your summary more depth.
Yeah.
And makes it more memorable for the recruiter.
That's a great tip. And speaking of making things memorable, the article also emphasizes the importance of tailoring your resume to each specific job. I have to admit, that sounds a bit tedious. Is it really necessary to tweak your summary for every single application?
I know it might sound like a lot of work, but trust me, it's worth the effort. Think of it this way. Each job has its own unique set of requirements. By tailoring your summary, you're showing the employer that you've done your research and that you understand what they're looking for.
Oh, so it's like sending a personalized thank you note instead of a generic email. It shows you care.
Right. And it helps your resume stand out from the stack. Remember, recruiters are often sifting through hundreds of applications, the ones that are tailored, and demonstrate a clear understanding of the role. Those are much more likely to grab their attention.
So it's not just about having a great summary. It's about making sure that summary aligns perfectly with the specific job you're applying for. Okay, let's say I'm staring at a blank page, feeling a bit intimidated by this whole process. Where do I even start?
Start with the job description. Read carefully. Highlight the key skills and qualifications they're looking for. And then brainstorm how your experience and achievements relate to those points.
It's like putting together a puzzle, right? You're trying to find the right pieces to fit their picture.
Exactly. And once you've identified those key pieces, you can start crafting your summary. Use those keywords.
Yeah.
And highlight those relevant achievements.
So it's all about being strategic and intentional, not just throwing things at the wall and hoping something sticks.
Right. And remember, your resume is a marketing document. You're marketing yourself to potential employers. And the resume summary is your headline. It's your chance to make a strong first impression.
Okay, this is all starting to click.
Yeah.
But now I'm curious. We've talked a lot about the practical aspects of writing a resume summary, the keywords, the achievements, the tailoring. But what about those less tangible qualities? How do you convey things like passion, personality, or cultural fit in this short little paragraph?
That's a great question. And it's where a bit of creativity and strategic word choice come into play. You can use your language to hint at those intangible qualities without being overly explicit.
Okay, give me an example. Let's say I'm someone who's really passionate about sustainability, and I want to work for a company that shares those values. How could I weave that into my summary without sounding preachy?
Instead of saying, like, passionate about sustainability, which can sound generic, you could say something like, driven to develop innovative solutions that promote environmental responsibility, or dedicated to making a positive impact on the planet. through my work.
Ah, I see. It's about finding those subtle ways
Yeah.
to signal your values and interests without, hitting them over the head with it.
Exactly. It's about showing, not telling. And remember, your resume summary is just one piece of the puzzle. Your cover letter, your portfolio, even your online presence can all play a role in conveying those intangible qualities.
It's all about creating a holistic picture of who you are and what you bring to the table.
Okay, I think we've covered just about everything there is to know about crafting a killer resume summary. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought to ponder. We've talked about tailoring your resume to the job, using keywords,
Yeah.
highlighting achievements. But what about that one special ingredient, that unique element that truly sets you apart?
That's a great point. It's not just about checking all the boxes. It's about showcasing what makes you, well, you.
Exactly. What makes you unforgettable? What makes you stand out from the sea of applicants? What makes the recruiter say, we have to meet this person? Because at the end of the day, it's not just about skills and experience. It's about the human connection. It's about finding that spark. That ignites interest and makes people want to learn more. So my challenge to you is this.
What makes you tick?
What are you truly passionate about?
What unique experiences or perspectives can you bring to the table? Think about those things that make you stand out from the crowd. Maybe it's a volunteer project that you're deeply involved in, or a unique skill you've developed outside of work.
Or even, a personal anecdote. That showcases your personality and values.
Because when you infuse your resume summary with that special something, it becomes more than just a list of qualifications. It becomes a reflection of who you are.
And that's what truly resonates with recruiters.
That's what makes them lean forward and say, we need to meet this person.
Hey, don't be afraid to get a little creative. Think outside the traditional resume box.
What can you add to your summary that will make it truly sing?
What will make it a reflection of your authentic self?
Because remember, a resume is more than just a piece of paper. It's a story.
Your story.
And a well-crafted resume summary is the opening chapter. It's the hook that draws readers in and makes them eager to turn the page.
So yeah, go out there, write a summary that's worthy of your unique and amazing story.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the art of the resume summary. We've explored the power of keywords, the importance of tailoring your message, and the magic of showcasing your authentic self.
Remember, your resume is a living document. It's something you should constantly refine and adapt as you grow and evolve in your career.
So keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep striving to create a resume that truly reflects your brilliance.
And most importantly, have fun with it.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep reaching for those career goals. We're here to support you every step of the way.